Good morning, all. Welcome to Rugby Chat for Tuesday, our calmed down version of our craziness from weekends excitements. Good morning, Michael.
How you going, mate?
Partying. How's
Oh,
your vodka going?
no, we've stopped drinking for now. I was pretty jaded on Sunday, to be fair, but yeah, no, great day, sad day.
I tell you, if that was not an advert for New Zealand provincial rugby, just bugger off and head back to Mongolia, will you? Because, even though Mongolia does have a great rugby team, I just have to point that out. There's nothing wrong with Mongolia. But if you couldn't get excited after that weekend's of matches, I tell you, it was just like nuts, absolute nuts. The only game that sort of disappointed probably was the Thames Valley game because it was just so cut and dry. You know, Thames just too good for Wanganui on the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed with Wanganui's performance, to be fair, but, you know, it is what it is. Thames Valley came out to a flyer and, yeah, couldn't really get caught, could they?
No, they could. Well, I mean, it was, as I mentioned on Saturday, it was very similar to the way King Country dealt to them the week prior. You know, they just took it straight to them, and yeah, I suppose questions have still got to be asked why players were allowed to go away for the weekend. But hey, I'm sure that you know, if it was a wedding or something like that, the good wife or wife to be had to be listened to because you don't want a bridezilla. I'm not saying that's what happened at all. I'm just, you know, guessing why they went away. But they were away and they ended up not with their full squad. But Thames Valley, can't take that away from them though. They went there with a purpose to get up by, what was it, 38-15. And yeah, then they walked away with the chocolates basically. And now get a home final at Boyd Park on Saturday afternoon against your mighty mid.
Yeah. Yeah, the excitement's building. I'm pretty sure the planning will be going into this week's game already. Yeah, we're off to the big dance up in Boyd Park, and it's going to be epic.
Well, it will be because any any news from your neck of the woods with your chats with the coaches and stuff like that? How pumped are they ready to go for this match?
Well, I'm judging by the coach's reaction in the coaching box at the dying minutes of Saturday's game. Yeah, the excitement levels will be palpable. I'm not too sure. I think our fullback might be under a bit of an injury cloud because he got a pretty nasty hit to the shoulder. I was speaking to him yesterday. He was going to on Sunday. I mean, he's going to go for an X-ray on Monday morning. So we'll wait and see what comes of that.
Well, it will be, and it'll be interesting to see how it all travels because both South Island teams have difficult travels for the finals weekend. So I'm guessing your fellas will be flying to Auckland, then busing down to Thames, or flying into Hamilton and up to Thames, one of the two. But yeah, it's a stat though that you came back to me yesterday about these two teams is about the two captains. Is that not correct?
Yeah, the two captains, Callum Burrell and Matty Axton's played for. I think it played for or had some affiliation with Bay of Plenty Rugby in their younger years. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, because the reason I said that is how good is it Bay of Plenty at the moment? You know, the Chiefs region. So they've got King Country, they've got Thames Valley,
Mm.
they've got Waikato, they've got Bay of Plenty, all playing finals footy.
Mm.
I know Heartland and the NPC and Super Rugby are poles apart, but do we have to keep an eye on the Chiefs? I mean, that's how, you know, this is where my brain always goes. Do we have to look at where the Chiefs might be in 2025?
Yeah, it's a big catchment region, isn't it? Yeah, and the Chiefs got the win on the weekend. They got that drop goal, so to edge out Taranaki, that was a great game. That one as well.
Nobody picked Waikato to win that game. And I do see that you did ask Tom Ricky if he was going for a drop goal, and the message being I was cramping up a bit. So, oh no, it was just an amazing weekend of rugby. I'm still buzzing over it. I still can't talk enough about it, and we've got teams 3 and 4 playing in this final on Saturday. Um, South Canterbury, Wanganui, they've been ever present. I mean, between them 107 tries throughout the season, all happening, all going really well. But teams in mid Canterbury, let's give them credit. They've scored 100 tries between them as well throughout the Heartland season this year. So, the weather reports I'm hearing are there might be rain this week up that way. But are you expecting a dour, this is a cup final 10-8 sort of thing? Or do you think we're going to see the ball run around a bit and have a bit of a cricket score like we saw in Levin with Horowhenua taking on West Coast?
I think both these teams are going to throw everything at each other. It's all on the line. It's all or nothing. The way Thames Valley played last week against Wanganui, they threw the ball around with a lot of confidence and got over the advantage line a lot of the time. And the way we played on Saturday, our defence was outstanding, and it just shows that we can run it from our own 22, back up the field and retain the ball, which is good. But yeah, as for the weather, no one likes rain, but if it happens to rain, well, there'll be a different game plan, I guess.
Yeah, I think where Thames Valley might have the edges if they, I think, have a bit of a dry track, but they have got a solid scrum. And mid Canterbury, well, it's got the word Canterbury in it, and and you can never discount any team with the name Canterbury in it. Because look what they did to Tasman in the weekend, completely and utterly destroyed them. So, whereas I'm saying about that Taranaki Waikato game, yes, all over the place here. It's a case of, I actually picked Canterbury to win that because of the Tasman losing the Shield hangover. But Waikato getting up over Taranaki, I thought Taranaki might have done that, and everyone else thought Taranaki was going to do that. So that was great for my tipping comps because no one could catch me. So going into that, but no. So I'll come back in a moment and nearer the end of the show for your prediction on scores, because then we have to look at the other semi-finals that we're on, and they were the ones that we covered on Saturday. King Country playing East Coast at Owen Delaney Park in Taupo, 34-31. Did King Country just literally take the foot off the throat, or did East Coast do that, almost got to the big dance scenario?
I think, that was a great game. East Coast were very brave. I thought they could have just about pulled it off, but yeah, no, the Rams are flying. Aaron Dunster and Gene Moller have got them absolutely flying at the moment, and they'll be heading into this game full of confidence. But you can never underestimate the West Coast. I mean, that game against Horowhenua was a doozy, but 1 point in it, and that was just an unreal game, that one.
It was. We had 16 tries in that game. Jacob Wakiri-Jones, he equalled a record for West Coast by scoring 6 conversions. He equalled the record by Leslie Martin, set back in 1933 against Golden Bay Motueka, where he got 6 conversions, 90 odd years ago. And then, of course, Troy Tarfary, man, the myth, the legend, that is Troy Tarfrey. He picked up the 2 tries he needed to now become the greatest try scorer in West Coast rugby on 28. And then that also goes with his most games for West Coast of 107 now, with one more game still to come. And I tell you, that whole game was it just blew my brain. Well, you saw me. I was really trying to keep my calm, but I failed.
Troy got a couple of tries in typical Troy fashion, driving off the back of the scrum and over. But what an inspirational leader he is for the West Coast. And he's breaking records left, right, and centre, which is great.
Yeah, well, and also the news just got better and better that day on Saturday after the game for West Coast. They were also later that night in front with John Sturgeon there to witness it. The West Coast Heartland team were named the West Coast Sporting Team for 2024. So at the West Coast Sports Awards. So they had double celebration, you could say. But now they have to focus, and they have to now defend their Lahore Cup away from home. So they won it last year, remember, at home. But this time they've got to travel to Tikawiti. We all thought it might have been going to be played at Taupo. But no, they have to spend a hour's bus drive, go to Hamilton, spend the night there, hour drive down to Tikawiti, and on Sunday afternoon play King Country Rams at Rugby Park. It's awesome to see the promotion King Country are doing for this game. They are really trying to pump up the crowd to get them there. And we're not that far apart from. I mean, King Country, Thames Valley, they are next door neighbours. So it's either going to be a double celebration at Hamilton Airport with West Coast and Mid Canterbury jumping on the same plane with 2 trophies, or it's going to be double celebration for King Country and Thames.
Yeah, well, I hope there's no travel disruptions and everyone gets to where they need to be. I'm picking our boys will be away Friday morning. So they'll be up there, have a good rest and whatever. But she's going to be a doozy. The excitement's building everywhere.
I'm buzzing, and the only other reason I'm buzzing is because we could do our show on Saturday, and we can get to do our show on Sunday. Problem is, what you see on the screen now is all I can show you, because they are going to be live on Sky. We can just bring you a fan's point of view. Whether or not, Mike, you would be able to survive that 82nd minute penalty at 12-11 to Thames Valley and 30 metres out, Tom Recchi standing up to take the final kick. Do you think you could survive that live online? Or are you coming up to Thames for the game?
No, I'm not going to go up. No, it's a bit out of my budget. But that was nerve-wracking stuff. But it's finals footy, so we need to take the points. We need to grab every point. And I think we've got the master kicker to do it. He got over 200 points in his club season for Methven this year, so he's capable.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll just need to see how the boys come through, and we'll get a wrap on that when Matty does his interview with the Guardian later on in the week. So we'll get a bit of an idea of where they're at. But I haven't got the paper yet, but I've been told that there's about 4 pages of write up in the local paper about it. So yeah.
Yeah, well, the other thing is too, and in the weirdest quirk, and it's always done my head in over the last ever, is that we have got the Meads Cup final on Saturday afternoon at 2:00. in the landscape of New Zealand rugby, it is the Division 2 final, Division 3 final now. And that's been played on Saturday between, the top teams in Heartland. Only for us then to wait another day to have the Lahore Cup, which is on the Sunday, which in theory is the last game for Heartland. And they have brought it forward a week from previous years. But the thing is, I still don't understand why Lahore Cup is not on a Saturday and the Meads Cup's on a Sunday. Because to me, the Meads Cup is the bigger of the two.
Yeah, I thought they would have. I thought they would have run them both on Saturday. Just staggered them a couple of hours apart. But no, as you say, they've got one on Saturday, one on Sunday. So we're going to have to wait another day for the West Coast King Country game. But I'm not too sure what the thinking is. But hopefully there will be some. There'll be some in-depth interviews after the games and all that, and the presentations and rah. So yeah. So she's going to be a big day in front of the TV this weekend, I think.
Yeah, well, and to answer Hamish's question and my own question and your question, the reason they aren't going back to back on Saturday is that this game is on at 2:00. After that, we will be having the Bay of Plenty versus Canterbury NPC semi-final from Tauranga at 4:30. And then at 7:00, my mighty Wellington taking on the awesome Moolus, Cowbells, and all that other stuff here at Sky Stadium at 7:00. So they are going back to back, but they're going Meads Cup semi-final, and then at least Lahore Cup gets a complete standalone on Sunday afternoon at 2:00 on Sky Open and Sky Sport 7. Not that I really want to promote them because they tell me off every time I show their coverage.
Yeah, I guess I guess there's an advantage with having the Lahore Cup on a Sunday. It gives it gives the West Coast a bit more time to get up there. I'm not too sure whether they'll be leaving on Friday or Saturday, but just in case anything does go wrong, because we both know that they've got players coming from everywhere. So Christchurch, Nelson, so.
Yeah, well, and as we have also pointed out a couple of times this season, this has got to be probably one of the worst seasons I've seen for travel disruptions. And if the weather is a bit dodgy this weekend, really we hope that does not go into any way of affecting what's going on with the finals. Hopefully they all get a nice, clear thing. In theory, it is a national final. In theory, it would be good to see NZR put on a full charter plane for these guys to get to the grand finals, and then, as I said, even fly them directly to Hamilton, both Mid Canterbury and West Coast, even if they have to get two separate planes. But it'll be interesting to see how it all goes. But as I said, we've got the Meads Cup. I'm going to give you my prediction on this now. You're not going to like me. You're probably going to hang up. But I think Thames Valley will be far too strong at home at Boyd Park on Saturday, and I'm going to go for a 12-point victory.
Yeah, well, this is going to be another Titanic battle. It's one team we haven't played this year. The other one being Ngāti Pro East Coast. I'm just hoping the boys haven't peaked too early, and they come through that battle with South Canterbury with no injuries, and they need to start focusing on this job because it's going to be a mammoth job. But I'll go Mid Canterbury by 5.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is too, with this game being played at Boyd Park, Thames Valley, if they do get up and win this, would not have travelled once to the South Island in the quirk of the draw this year. They've played all their games in the North Island, whereas Mid Canterbury and West Coast have had to be travelling around the country quite a bit to play. And if anything, that can also take it out on you, mentally and physically. So I'm hoping both teams just take the field, both at 100%, and give us a Meads Cup to remember, because I tell you, it will be quite nice to see a new name on the trophy, and it'll be quite good, and from a North Island point of view, to see a North Island team finally win it back.
Yeah, I'd like to see it stay in the South Island.
Yeah. If you agree or disagree with us, people, you know what to do. Throw it in the comments, and we'll give you a shout out on here. But
hopefully the cup has 2 handles on it this year.
Yeah, who broke it last year?
Yeah,
Someone broke it.
I think it was last year or the year before.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they'll get out the soldering iron. But I tell you what, whoever wins it, there'll be plenty of amber liquid drank out of it. I'm going to be guessing, called Powerade or Orangeade or Quench or whatever, because we're not allowed to talk alcohol anymore. Except on this show, of course. Ace Bates and Heineken. Oh, and Johnny Walker and Jim Beam and all that. We'll be happy to take any sponsorship you like. So then we go to Sunday, Lahore Cup. As again, Rugby Park, King Country, West Coast. You know, there's only one team I'm going for here, and I'm going for the Might of Red and White to get up by at least 10 points. They're going to be buzzing. And I'll tell you what, this gentleman will be buzzing. Good morning, Jess. All the best for this week. You know you've got the rabbit in your corner. Jesse McRae, good South Westlander. It's great to see the actual players following us here on Rugby Heartland. But no, I think West Coast will go back-to-back Lahore Cup champions and take the trophy all the way back down to Greymouth to John Sturgeon Park and place it at Mr. Mike Connors' desk there in the office. What do you think?
Well, Rabs, you'll like me because I'm going to pick the West Coast. I think they're going to be too strong for King Country. That game against Horowhenua, Horowhenua was a doozy, and if they can come out and do that again, well, they're in with a good shot at it. So, yep. All the best to the coast boys.
Yeah, go the Might of Red and White. I mean, literally, there's still plenty to play for. There's still, could this be Troy Tarfary's last game? If it is, what a way to send out a legend. We've got the new guys coming through the pack as well. It's going to be Sean McClure's, what do you call it? 92nd game. And only because Jesse McRae went up the coast, we have another player from the other side. Zach Darlington, Rams on a 5-win streak, and you guys pick West Coast? Well, winning streaks come to an end, is all I can say. Look at South Canterbury. Agree? Disagree? Mike?
Yeah, all streaks must come to an end, and we've seen that at Fraser Park on Saturday. But yeah, shout out to Zach. He had a great game on the weekend. I'm still buzzing over that, but that's all right.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the thing is, win or lose, this whole season has just been a record season for Heartland Rugby. I mean, we've had over 420 tries during the regular season. We've had another 30-odd tries in the semi-finals. End of the day, guys like Jesse and Zach and all them guys, they are playing a game we all enjoy watching. They're playing a game that is to provide entertainment. And that's what we're after, isn't it? You know, if you go to a Hurricanes Crusaders game now at the stadium, you get 50 people there, and then all we do is listen to the TMO all day. You cannot beat true provincial rugby in New Zealand, because these guys, they're just going to show you, the top two teams, they're gone. Yep, fair enough. Hope you guys. Hey, I've got the jersey, Zach. I do support you. I support King Country. I support West Coast. Unfortunately, we can't have draws anymore. That's the big problem. So we've got to put our money somewhere. King Country, they could do it. They hold the Bill Osborne Tionga. But isn't this what we want in a final? It could go either way, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's it could be, it could come down to a penalty right in front of the sticks on 79 minutes, or it might be that turning point in the game where someone gets a yellow card or whatever. But yeah, no, this Heartland season, like I've watched a lot of games, and not only the mid-category games, but the crowd sizes. The crowd sizes have been unreal. Like Fraser Park on Saturday was packed out again, and the weekend I went down when they opened it to watch Ngāti Porou. Well, it was absolutely pumping that weekend, and it's good to see people out supporting their provinces and their players and what have you. And but yeah, no, Heartland Rugby is slowly making a comeback.
Oh, totally. And again, if I look at where we're at, with King Country and stuff, as I said, they are out there, they are promoting it, and I'm not just, how can I put it? I'll just see if I can drag this over so people can see what I'm talking about. This is what we're after. We're after this, aren't we? We're after this. This is how King Country are promoting this match. They want the people out there. They want them to paint their faces. Let's get out there. Let's, enough of this NRL rubbish, enough of the NFL, enough of A-League. The tribalism, I feel, is back. It had disappeared a little bit in the last couple of years with the dominance of South Canterbury. But it's so refreshing, I suppose, to say, let's get out there, let's support our province, get out there and make your voice heard, buy the jerseys, paint your face, buy the beanies. There's a lot more happening with Heartland, and I just find it absolutely amazing that, I just find it great, that we have that opportunity to celebrate the years past, really, because now also we've got the NPC to look forward to, and Bay of Plenty, Canterbury. Who would have thought Canterbury? You'd be a numbnut, really, not to think Canterbury would be somewhere in the final, and it's just like them to finish 8th and bloody win the whole thing. Why? Because it's got the name Canterbury in it, and they are now firing on all cylinders, especially after demolishing Tasman on Sunday by a record score. I suppose we have to bring that up too now, is what is it with the Radford Shield and losing it and then getting thumped?
Yeah, Canterbury, well, yeah, they've certainly come back with a hiss and a roar, but we can't really go far past Marcus's Steamers, can we?
No, not at home. They've been awesome at home, Bay of Plenty, and I'm actually hoping that Bay of Plenty do get up, because if that is the case, and Wellington can not choke against Waikato, because we know what could happen there, bloody Mulu Bills and all that stuff, but we could be on for a repeat of that awesome game where it ended up going to Golden Point during the season when Wellington got up over Bay of Plenty at Sky Stadium. And might even be able to get some free tickets from Marcus to go to my own game 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah, wouldn't it be good to see Bay of Plenty and Wellington in the final? But yeah, anything can happen.
Oh, totally. But I mean, so I'll call it now anyway. My picks for that. I'm going to say Bay of Plenty will get up by 10 points over Canterbury, and I'm going to pick Wellington to win by 20.
Yeah, I'm gonna back Bay of Plenty by 5 and Wellington by 8.
Okay, so the only game that's on this weekend that we disagree with is the Meads Cup final.
Yep.
That's not too bad.
No.
But anyhow, as I said, Tuesdays are a bit more laid back than our nastiness in the weekends. But as I said, we'll look at whether we go to air. Drop us a note if you like. Here's a chap that's asking you a question there, Michael.
Yes. Yep.
So Josh Flavel, Mike,
Still
are you
buzzing.
still pumped? Still buzzing? Yeah. Have been actually hearing young Josh. Apparently, he's been on SENZ during the on a Friday talking to Staffy. I was actually on this morning, Josh. I don't know if you caught me with Ricardo. And I tell you, it's awesome that Heartland is getting the coverage, because when those finals were on Saturday, I took major notice of what was on the news that night on network television, and all we heard about was TJ Perenara's last game in Wellington for the third time. We heard about this game for the third time. Not one mention of the Heartland Championship. Not one mention of the amazing results, even though 2 games were live on Sky. There was no mention of Heartland Rugby. So we may be back on Saturday and Sunday, but just bringing you literally, as I said, a fan's perspective of how the games are going in the background. We'll just have this up, having a beer and going nuts, because I think we'll be, I think we're in for 2 cracking finals. Meads Cup, Lahore Cup, you can't get any better than that. I might leave the final word to you, because if I say anything about Thames too much, people will think I'm too Thamesy. We've got to get a South Island view. Are we going to see a double South Island celebration, or a 50-50 split?
I'm hoping so, but it's whichever way the cookie crumbles, the lads, the Hammers have had an outstanding season. And full credit must go to the coaching staff. They've brought the best out in the boys, and they've taken a while to hit their straps. But our record this year's been pretty good, to be fair. So, but good luck to all the officials for their appointments. I haven't heard who's got the whistle yet, but we'll wait and see later in the week. To all the coaches, management teams, and players, all the best. And I hope you have good games and have undisrupted travel arrangements.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
shout out to Mace Bryant. He's a good Southern boy, and also a mid Canterbury supporter.
Mason Bryant is a former Johnsonville Hawk from New Orleans. He is a good buddy of mine. And Thank you, Mason, for watching. He's also an ex-Buller boy. He's played for Nukawa, and then he moved over to your neck of the woods. But awesome to see you're still watching what we're doing here, Mason. And been following your little family grow up on the farm. It's been awesome to watch. So, next time you see Mason, buy him a beer for me, yeah?
Yeah, well, he hasn't. Well, he didn't play for Southern last year. I'm not too sure whether he's hung up his boots or whether he's going to make a comeback. But it'd be great to see him back on the field.
Oh, totally. Maybe he's still waiting for that US Eagles call up. I did have him playing for them in the virtual rugby at one point. Well, actually, playing for Mid Canterbury wearing a Stars and Stripe headgear. So that was a bit of fun. But otherwise, hey, there's not much more we can say other than to all the teams in this weekend's Heartland finals. Oh, I'm going to love every minute of it. If we are on air, we will be on air just before 2 o'clock, having a beer or two. And then on Sunday, we'll be on air from about 2 to watch the Lahore Cup, of course. Literally, as I said, this is all we can sort of bring you. We might be able to bring you highlights of the Meads Cup on Sunday, but that will be about it. But even then, I get pinged by Sky Sport for showing stuff that's already free to air on Facebook. So go figure that one out. I don't know. So till maybe Saturday, Mike, if you're keen.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get you to send me that. Send me the link of the SENZ show, and I'll have a read of it or have a listen.
Yeah. No, we will. We'll throw that up. I'll download the old podcast and we'll flick that link to you. It was a bit of fun going through a few things and just also reminding Sumo Stevenson that yesterday he mentioned that West Coast will be the only team not to have won a national championship. So I had pleasure in telling Ricardo to pass on to Sumo that West Coast won the Lahore Cup last year and are going back to back this year. So, yeah, get your facts right. But he does work for TVNZ as well, doesn't he? So, yeah, that's all I can say there. Otherwise, until the weekend, people, enjoy your tipping, enjoy your beers, enjoy getting your faces all painted. Good luck to the Swamp Foxes. Good luck to the Hammers. Good luck to the Rams. And I'll just leave by saying, go the might of red and white. Till the weekend, we'll catch you later.
See you later, mate.